This is Jeremy. Man, these hogs, man, they done ate me alive. I replanted 10 acres yesterday, and I come back out here, and it's all gone. They ate it up last night. But the way they acted, I believe we could catch a pile of them pretty quick, because they just having a free-for-all right there. And, but anyway, we'll talk. Just holler when you get a minute.
This segment will demonstrate the successful method and technology used to remove all 12 feral hogs from a 20-acre cornfield within 8 days. We will discuss each step of the M.I.N.E trapping system in detail to reinforce the ability to perform 100% capture results during corn planting, which is less than perfect trapping conditions. Jeremy Redding, an Alabama farmer, called our office during the month of June as a group of feral hogs was wreaking havoc in his cornfield. Normally, corn is planted from mid-March to mid-April in Alabama, but record rainfall during those months had farmers behind schedule.
What we have here you're looking at is the taller corn is what I originally planted the first time, which is what the whole field should look like or would have looked like had it not been the hogs. And of course, it takes about 7 or 8 days after the corn germinates, and then we realized we had skips, and it didn't take long to figure out we had hogs. But these gaps in between here is what the hogs did get on the second replant. So half of my second replant, the hogs got it in addition, and at this point it's just too late to even try to salvage it. There's no such thing as coming back and replanting this. The timetable's gone.
Why is it so important when each seed emerges from the ground? Farmers plant approximately 32,000 corn seeds per acre of land. The goal is for all 32,000 seeds to come out of the ground within 24 hours of each other. The reason why this is necessary is because plants that emerge several days or weeks ahead of others have an unfair advantage the rest of the year. They catch more sunlight and potentially shade out the other plants. Earlier emerging plants also have bigger root systems and get more water and plant nutrients. The result is plants that emerge late never put on big ears of corn like early plants. The bottom line is feral hogs substantially hurt yields when fields are replanted and the plants emerge at different dates.
Right here by my feet, they root in here and start creating good sized holes that will certainly jar your teeth when you're in a truck or tractor. If you're on a combine harvesting corn and got a full load of corn, you can easily break something on the combine, an axle.
The damaged 20-acre field had been planted in May, while the 40-acre field next to it had been planted in March, nearly 7 weeks earlier. We had a short window of opportunity as the 40-acre corn was starting to tassel and produce an ear. We chose this area as a bait site because hogs were entering the field from this location. A feeder was erected on 22 June and enhanced with soured corn for scent. We needed to see if it was possible to alter their food source and collect intel on the total number and age of this sounder. These 2 pregnant sows and boar were the first to locate the feeder and cleaned up the soured corn by the morning of 23 June. The evening of 23 June brought the entire sounder to the bait site. This was the first time we were able to count 12 adults and verify there were no juveniles. The farmer made a critical mistake by hand baiting 50 pounds of corn and peanuts on the ground around the feeder. Most people assume more bait is better, but we do not want hogs to be full and travel individually to the bait site when hungry. We want to create competition for food so the entire sounder enters the trap enclosure together with a sense of urgency and competition for food.
We brought the trap in parts, and we leaned them up in the wood line here and all around the edges, just so that they would see the panels, see the posts, see the gate, and not as a threat. And they ate all around those parts, didn't seem to bother them. Told us that these pigs probably hadn't been trapped much.
On 25 June, we picked up all the bait from the ground and erected the trap enclosure. Remember, our intel showed all adults and no juveniles. We left one 16-foot long panel off the enclosure to test their reaction.
We went ahead and assembled the entire trap. However, we didn't tie this panel in. Once the trap was up, we removed this panel, leaving the T-posts every 4 feet. This left a clear opening for these hogs to come and go if they please through the side or through the 8-foot wide gate. What we captured on video the first night was that all the hogs preferred to walk through the 8-foot gate. They may come and go out of here to get water or do other things, but they generally all preferred to go through the gate. That told us it was time to put this panel back in.
Watch these two hogs exit the trap enclosure from different locations, as Lance explained. We secured the last panel into place on 27 June and observed 11 of the 12 hogs enter the enclosure on the morning of 28 June. It was our decision to be patient and wait until the entire sounder was inside the enclosure. Setting a traditional tripwire and relying on the hogs to trigger the gate closed does not allow users the ability to make on-the-spot decisions like this to ensure 100% success.
The way we set our bait up is we want the hogs to come in, finish every last bit of bait, and the last guy to show up, he didn't get very much.
Watch the behavior on the morning of 29 June. These two pregnant sows were the first to enter the enclosure. Half the sounder entered the enclosure immediately, while the other half walked around the outside perimeter. Notice the urgency of the remaining 6 hogs as they quickly enter the enclosure before the bait is gone. The goal is to reward the first hogs with more food and punish the last hogs with less food for being slow. The M.I.N.E camera confirmed all 12 hogs were inside the enclosure, with this picture at 5:52. We simply texted the trigger code back to the M.I.N.E camera, and 7 seconds later the farmer's problem was solved.
Through the work that JAGER Pro has done, we identified 12 problem hogs, and they've roughly cost me somewhere in 10 to 11 acres worth of corn in a matter of 2 weeks' time. And we know that it would have got exponential from that point. And not even assuming how many hogs or newborn pigs would have come out of the hogs we captured.
We do not assume any data or statistics at JAGER Pro. It is our mission to capture entire sounders and document the exact number of unborn pigs to share the exact science behind our 100% success methodology. It is our job as retired soldiers and feral hog control experts to invent the technology and demonstrate its efficiency. It is academia's job to peer review and publish this information so wildlife biologists learn to trust and accept it. Here we documented there were 6 gilts and 6 boars in the sounder. 5 of the 6 gilts were pregnant with potential litters of 6, 6, 5, 5, and 3 for a total of 25 unborn fetuses. Our integrated pest management model for feral hogs was necessary to stop the future education and reproduction of an entire generation. The same eradication model is currently used by the pest control industry to tackle termites, rats, and cockroaches. This segment successfully demonstrated the efficient removal of 37 future problems on Jeremy Redding's Alabama farm within 96 hours of building the enclosure without wasting any fuel, time, or labor. The M.I.N.E trapping system proved to be an efficient control method in this situation.
You could have easily had a problem going from 10 acres in 2 weeks to 20 and 30 acres in a month's time. I've been real thankful to have the staff at JAGER Pro do what they've done and help eliminate my problem here and nip this situation in the bud.
The next video in our series will continue to demonstrate feral hog behavior, so viewers will better understand how to accomplish 100% captures for more effective hog control. Call or visit us on the web to purchase the latest equipment or learn more about the methods and technology needed to better control feral hog populations in your area.